Well, hello there trainers, greetings, Kuroblitz here, and welcome back to another video. This time around, a tag challenge made by Champion Blaze, that being the My Perfect Ash Ketchum team. Now, when it comes to My Perfect Ash Ketchum team, I don't want to focus only on battle records, but yes, about other things that are very important for Pokemon, those being what I like about them, their personality, their attributes, and what I would value the most when it comes into an actual Pokemon journey and Pokemon adventure. Now, this tag, I was tagged with a lot of people by Champion Blaze himself, and I'm allowed to have 6 Pokemon on my main team and 3 others in rotation. And the one thing I want to ask you is, what do you think is more important in an actual Pokemon journey? Are the battles? Are the friends? Are the training? Are the memories? All of those are important, but one thing I value the most: survival. Traveling and adventuring is about living. You need Pokemon to help you survive in the wilderness throughout all of the regions. And this is why I'm going to focus on what Ash Pokemon will help me with this particular department. So, trainers, without further ado, here is my perfect Ash Ketchum team. Let's get started. As for my first Pokemon, I have Tauros. Tauros is a Pokemon that only got some appearances, and we don't even know if it's the same leader of the crew, or if they are very different Tauroses, but this one is very important when it comes to mounting and traversing the land, and also breaking boulders like how we see in the ride mechanic of Sun and Moon. So I would like to imagine Tauros being my lead. It kind of parallels how Professor Oak was the champion of Kanto and he also had Tauros as a lead. I think this is a very important Pokemon to have. And his moveset is going to be Raging Bull, Stone Edge, Zen Headbutt, and Smart Strike. The third one being coverage for fighting attacks, which I think it's going to be extremely important. Now, for my second Pokemon, it comes to traversal of flying and basically locating stuff around caves and whatever, it's going to be Noivern. I always loved Noibat. I don't think Ash was able to utilize it to their fullest extent because, the story wasn't about it, but it was an egg Pokemon, had a great bond with Alucha, and I really do appreciate this Pokemon. Like, if you see other Noiverns in the series, and even in cards, they are very menacing looking, and they are very instrumental to, help you fly around. Ash never flies around his mons because that way the region and the journey would be shorter, but I would like to imagine myself having this Pokemon to go around. Their moveset is going to be Boom Burst, Hurricane, Dragon Pulse, and Moonlight. The reason why Ashes had Acrobatics and Dragon Claw instead of being a special attacker like how it's meant to be in the games, it was because of the 3D camera and the aerodynamic of the anime. I don't have to adhere to that, so I'm going to give Noivern this set of special moves. Instead of Supersonic, I'm giving it Moonlight because Noivern is very powerful Pokemon but also very fragile. Since Ash has learned Acrobatics by meeting a Floette, maybe mine would, learn this fairy move by meeting AZ's Floette. But that's a tangent. Going on to Pokemon number 3, that's going to be Leavanny. I adore Leavanny. Leavanny is basically what would have happened if Heracross was utilized to their fullest extent, and it's a Pokemon that evolves via friendship. I used my Leavanny in my black and white playthrough to defeat Ghetsis Hydreigon with a powerful X-Scissor. So I would like to imagine, my Leavanny having something similar, but instead of, X-Scissor, it would have Lunge, a new attack that is the same power of X-Scissor, but it also allows for the opponent's attack stat to get lowered, and this is where Leavanny is going to use their other attacks, being of Shadow Claw, Trail Blaze to also boost speed, and Poison Jab. This Leavanny is going to be absolutely amazing, and when it comes to travel, it's going to help Sue like cloves and tender and all of that, and basically like make silk beds and stuff. and also getting leaves for, burning and all of that, like compost, or even, getting grills and whatever more. This is a great Pokemon. I adored Ashes, but because Snivy was around, it wasn't really utilized to their fullest, but it had a great dynamic. So if there is a Pokemon that I want to have from, the Unova team, it would probably be Leavanny. Now, going on with my fourth Pokemon, it's going to be Gengar. This Pokemon is very important because Gengar can also Shadow Tag along the shadows of trainers, and it's a very cartoony Pokemon, and they have like a myriad of power to their arsenal. This Gengar, I would basically make it have Psychic like how Ashes originally had, and it's going to keep Shadow Ball because that was once, the signature that they were known for. As for the other moves, I'm going to keep it a special attacker and give it Sludge Wave and also Dark Pulse. This is a very powerful Pokemon. I wish that the one that Ash had in the anime was the Haunter he left with Sabrina. Granted, such didn't happen because they would have to tackle Sabrina's backstory, and they don't want to do that 90s stuff in nowadays. But I really liked Gengar. I really liked the potential that he had, so I feel like with another trainer he would be able to blossom. Gengar is also going to be the one Pokemon that's going to be my gimmick Pokemon. And which one gimmick? All of them. I'm going to have Mega Evolution and Gigantamax, but also Terrestrialization and Z Crystals. The Z moves for Gengar that I'm going to utilize are the ones we didn't saw in the anime, being Shattered Psych for Psychic and Acid Downpour for Sludge Wave, basically being more improved, powerful versions. For Terrestrialization, it's going to be Dark. That way, he would have lesser weaknesses, and it's going to be a great homage to the Gengar that Karen of the Johto Elite Four uses in Pokemon Gold, Silver, Crystal. This is going to be a very mischievous Pokemon, and I would love it for, instead of being on Ash's team, to be on mine. Continuing on, the fifth Pokemon that I'm going to have here, it's Incineroar. But not really. I'm going to have it as a Torracat. I understand why Torracat evolved, it was a great moment and I want to take it away from it, but if I was to have a Pokemon, it would be Torracat. I considered, Torkoal to basically give us, warmth and heat and all of that, and given how Gengar in Mega and G-Max form can access other dimensions and the afterlife, those would be amazing stories on their own, but Torracat can give more than what Torkoal did in terms of, speed and also in terms of battle prowess. So I'm going to de-evolve Incineroar and keep Torracat as basically my pet Pokemon, and they are going to have, Revenge, Fire Fang, and Flame Charge like how they had in the anime, but instead of Fire Blast, I want to give them Double Team to basically have more versatility and not just have moves of, the same type over and over and over again. Now, for my final and sixth Pokemon, I'm going to utilize the rare candy that I took from Incineroar to Torracat and give it to another rare Ash's Pokemon. That being, I'm gonna evolve Palpitoad into Seismitoad. In exploration of the world, you need a Pokemon that, surfs around, but it's also, able to swim, crush stuff, dive, and I feel like, Seismitoad is the Pokemon for this role. The moves I'm giving him are Aqua Ring, Liquidation, Drain Punch, and Icy Wind. Aqua Ring and Drain Punch are the moves to basically restore health. Liquidation is going to have a great usage from his physical attack stat, so no need for Muddy Water. And Icy Wind is going to, make glaciers all over the place and slow the opponents down. I feel like this would be a great Pokemon to have. So this is my main team, so let's talk about the three reserve rotations. Those being of Noctowl, Sirfetch'd, and Rotom Dex. I love Noctowl, it's a very great Pokemon, and I feel like it's the one that embodies Ash the most on his Johto run, but like Johto itself, it was very underutilized. It's a golden bird like Ho-Oh, it learned psychic moves like Lugia, and it was caught in the Helix Forest where Celebi dwells. This is a great Pokemon and I want to basically give it more usage. So Noctowl is going to keep Extra Sensory and Air Slash, but I'm going to give them also Mud Slap for electric coverage and also rock coverage, and I'm going to give them Moonblast. Moonblast being, you know, a great homage to Lugia because of Golden Sun and Silver Moon. I considered Heat Wave, but I really don't think there is a need for this Noctowl. Noctowl is going to be the brains to Sirfetch''s brawn, being that, you know, Noivern is the heart of the team in that sense. And Noctowl is going to be very useful for, you know, navigation purposes, to try to outplay and outsmart opponents and try to figure out where the stuff are, so I think that will be great. Sirfetch'd is fine as is in the anime, with Brutal Swing, Fury Cut, or Meteor Assault and Detect. It's going to be the Knight in Shining Armor, and I wouldn't change anything about them. Everything that he has is absolutely goated. This is peak Pokemon right here. As for my Knight Pokemon, I know that Ash didn't caught Rotom, but he traveled with him a lot in Alola. More so than any other Pokemon besides Pikachu. Now, since Rotom in the Pokédex it's on a pure electric form and they are not allowed to battle, I gave this Rotom moves that are not really, you know, damaging moves. Those being of Charge for electrical appliances, Thunder Wave to paralyze opponents, Confuse Ray to confuse opponents, and Ally Switch to basically make people and Pokemon go from different places. It's like a fake teleport in a sense, so this Pokemon doesn't really battle. And just like Rotom Dex, I feel like we would be great friends with all of our love for, you know, several interests, and also detective shows and television on itself, so we would be two peas in a pod, so if that makes sense. And since this Rotom doesn't have damaging moves, if someone taunts him, he cannot really do anything, right? So yeah. And there you have it, trainers. This is my perfect Ash Ketchum team done by Champion Plays. These Pokemon that I picked are Tauros, Noivern, Leavanny, Gengar, Torracat, and Seismitoad, with Noctowl, Sirfetch'd, and Rotom Dex on rotation. So there you have it, folks. This is my team, but now I am allowed to tag 5 people if they really want to partake in this challenge and what Ash Pokemon they would like to have and for what purposes on their own personal journey. I'm going to tag Draymond1, Nile Kelly, Goggle Master, Aleximo, and Xenolit. I hope you guys surprise me with the Pokemon that you would pick. And trainers, let me know what Pokemon of Ash you would like to have in the comment section down below. So make sure to leave a comment, share this video, like and subscribe. And thank you so much for the attention. Kuro Blitz